Amara, step into the office. Now! The command shot across the registers like a whip. Heads turned. Customers paused mid-swipe of their credit cards. Amara's hands froze over the scanner, the loaf of bread still in her palm. She looked up at Mr. Collins. His arms were folded, lips curved into a smirk. Two supervisors stood behind him, forming a wall of authority. I'm helping a customer, Amara said quietly. Leave it. Someone else will finish. The woman in line frowned. What's going on? Collins ignored her. Now! Amara placed the bread on the counter. The beeping of scanners from other registers seemed louder than usual as she untied her apron and stepped out. Her stomach was heavy, her back aching, but she lifted her chin and walked toward the glass office. Whispers trailed her. Inside, Collins shut the door harder than necessary. The blinds were open so everyone could see. You become a liability, he said flatly. Amara blinked. A liability? You're slow. Customers complain. You can't keep up. And frankly, his eyes dropped to her belly. You don't belong here anymore. Her pulse thudded. You're firing me because I'm pregnant? One supervisor smirked. The other muttered under his breath. Should have stayed home instead of spreading your legs. Amara's chest tightened. That's disgusting. And this is illegal. Illegal? Collins leaned in, voice dripping with mockery. You think anyone cares? You're replaceable. Always were. He opened the door wide, loud enough for the hinges to creak. Badge. Now. Her hands shook as she unclipped the plastic badge. She placed it on his desk. She wanted to scream, but she wouldn't give him that satisfaction. Through the glass, the entire floor watched. Cashiers paused mid-scan. Customers craned their necks. Stock boys froze mid-shelf. Everyone could see her humiliation. Get out, Collins said. Amara walked past him. The murmurs began instantly. A boy near aisle 4 whispered, She's pregnant. A woman near the registers muttered, Shouldn't be working if she can't handle it. Another chuckled, one less mouth to feed. Amara reached the sliding doors. They opened with a hiss. She turned. Her voice firm though her throat burned. You may think you've silenced me today, she said loudly, eyes sweeping over them all. But this isn't the end. Her words cut through the buzzing lights. She walked out. The doors closed behind her. Collins leaned against the office glass, arms folded, grin wide. She'll never come back. The supervisors laughed. On the floor, whispers turned into conversations. She always looked tired. Pregnant women shouldn't be working here anyway. She brought on herself. Not everyone joined in. Register 3's cashier, Lila, bit her lip, anger flashing in her eyes. Stock boy Jamal clenched his fists but stayed silent. No one dared speak up. Collins came out of the office, clapping his hands. Back to work, people. Show's over. The store returned to motion. But the air was heavy, thick with what they had just witnessed. Outside, Amara stood by the bus stop bench, arms wrapped around herself. The cold wind bit at her uniform. She pulled her coat tighter, but her chest still burned from the humiliation. A woman waiting nearby glanced at her belly, then at her face. She said nothing, just shifted further away. The bus pulled up. Amara climbed in slowly, finding a seat near the back. She pressed her forehead against the glass as the store disappeared behind her. Inside the store, Collins strutted down the aisles, proud of his performance. Don't ever forget, he told an employee shelving cereal. This place doesn't need dead weight. The employee nodded quickly, eyes lowered. Customers whispered in checkout lines. Some laughed about the scene. Others shook their heads but said nothing. The humiliation became gossip within minutes. Did you see the way she looked at him? She thought she could fight back. She'll probably beg for her job tomorrow. By closing time, the story had spread beyond the store. Employees texted friends. Customers told family. The pregnant cashier got fired today, publicly. At home, Amara sat at her small kitchen table, staring at the bills piled in front of her. Her stomach growled, but she wasn't hungry. She pressed her hand gently against her belly. I won't let them break me, she whispered. Her phone buzzed. A message from her friend Lila. I'm so sorry. That was wrong. Stay strong. Another came in from Jamal. They humiliated you on purpose. Everyone saw it. People are talking. Amara typed back. They think they won. But I'll show them. Days passed. The gossip inside the store grew. Did you hear? She might sue. Lawsuits never work. She can't afford a lawyer. Collins said she'll never set foot here again. Collins relished the attention. He joked about it in the break room. You'd think people would learn not to drag their baggage into work. The supervisors laughed along. Meanwhile, Amara moved in silence. On the bus, she overheard strangers whisper. At the grocery down the street, a clerk smirked when she walked past. Word had spread. One evening, she stood outside the store's glowing windows, watching customers move through aisles. Her reflection stared back, tired, humiliated, but unbroken. Inside, Collins passed by, laughing with another manager. He didn't see her. Amara whispered to herself, "They think I'm gone. They have no idea." The night grew colder. She turned and walked away. Inside the store, the laughter continued. Employees repeated the story like a cautionary tale. But no one realized that every laugh, every cruel word, was building toward the moment when the entire store would fall silent. And that moment was closer than any of them imagined. The automatic doors slid open with a slow hiss. For a moment, no one moved. Every beep or register, every shuffle of a shopping cart, seemed to freeze in time as Amara stepped inside. Her heels struck the tile with sharp clicks that cut through the silence. She didn't wear the faded blue uniform anymore. She wasn't the tired cashier at Register 7. She was something else entirely, commanding, unshaken, untouchable. Lila, shelving soup cans, gasped so loudly the customer beside her turned. "It's her." Jamal, stacking soda cases, whispered. No way she just walked back in here." Near the registers, customers turned their heads, nudging each other. Phones came out. People started recording, sensing something was about to happen. At the front desk, Collins froze mid-laugh. His voice cracked as he shouted, "What the hell are you doing here? You don't work here anymore." Amara didn't flinch. She didn't even look at him. She kept walking, each step deliberate, her gaze fixed on the glass office at the back. "Stop her," Collins barked. His voice trembled, but he tried to sound in control. "Somebody stop her from coming in here." No one moved. Employees only stared. Customers leaned closer. Amara stopped in the middle of the store. Slowly, she turned, sweeping her eyes across the sea of faces watching her. "I don't work here anymore," she said, her voice firm, echoing across the aisles. "I own this place." Gas erupted like a wave. One customer dropped a jar of pickles, glass shattering across the floor. Lila's hands covered her mouth. Jamal nearly dropped a soda case. Collins blinked rapidly, face flushing. You're lying." He laughed nervously. "This is some pathetic stunt. Everybody, don't listen to her. She's desperate. She's desperate?" Amara cut in, voice cold and steady. "No, prepared." She reached into her leather bag and pulled out a thick folder. Slowly, deliberately, she flipped it open and held it up. "As of this morning, this store and every location under this chain belongs to me." The papers caught the fluorescent lights. Phones zoomed in. Screens recorded every detail. Whispers erupted everywhere. "She has papers. No, it can't be real. Is this a prank?" She was just a cashier. Collins staggered forward, trying to grab the folder. "Give me that." Amara stepped back, her glare sharp enough to slice through him. "Touch me, and you'll be escorted out faster than you fired me." Gas again. A murmur rippled. She said escorted. Collins stammered. You don't understand how this works. You can't just..." Amara's voice cut like a blade. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. You mocked me, called me weak, replaceable. You thought firing a pregnant woman would make you powerful. But you were wrong." Her words rang through the store. Every shopper, every employee, hung on them. Collins tried to laugh again, but it came out strangled. You expect us to believe this? That you somehow bought the company?" "Yes," Amara said simply. Silence. Collins sputtered. "That's impossible. You don't have that kind of money. You don't know anything about me." Amara snapped. "And that was your first mistake." The crowd buzzed louder. Someone whispered, "I think she's serious." Another muttered, "Oh my God, she's the new owner." Collins' hand shook. "Even if this were true, you can't fire me. I'm protected. I've worked here 15 years. You fired me for being pregnant." Amara said, her voice dropping low, lethal. "That protection you brag about? Gone. Effective immediately. You're done. And so are your lapdogs." She pointed at the supervisors. "Pack your things." You won't humiliate another employee again. The store erupted in noise. Some employees clapped instantly, breaking into applause. Others covered their mouths. Stunned, customers cheered. Phones shook as people tried to capture the chaos. The supervisors protested loudly, voices cracking. You can't fire us. You're bluffing. Collins shouted over the noise. Don't believe her. She's lying. Security, throw her out. But instead, two men in black jackets appeared security, but not his. They stepped directly beside Amara. Everything's been arranged, she said calmly. They answered me now. The guards turned to Collins. Sir, you'll need to leave. His face purpled. No, this is my store. Mine. You can't do this to me. The guards grabbed his arms. He fought, shouting, kicking, but they dragged him across the floor. His voice cracked in desperation. This isn't over, Amara. You'll regret this. The doors hissed open, and for the first time, Collins walked out in humiliation. Customers booed. Some clapped. Phones followed him until he disappeared into the parking lot. The supervisors tried to slink away quietly, but Amara's voice stopped them cold. No, you walk out the same way you laughed at me. Publicly, everyone here deserves to see justice served. Gasps, murmurs. The supervisors' faces burned red as security escorted them out too. Silence fell once again. Amara stood in the middle of the store, surrounded by employees and customers, the air heavy with disbelief. She looked at them all, her voice steady but softer now. Respect matters. Dignity matters. And no one has the right to take it away. This store will be different. From today on, it will stand for fairness, for justice, for every person who's ever been told they're less than human. The silence cracked into thunderous applause. Lila cried openly, rushing forward to hug Amara. Jamal clapped until his hands hurt. Customers cheered, some chanting her name. Amara raised her hand gently, quieting them. Her eyes softened. She placed a hand on her belly. This isn't just for me, she whispered. It's for the future. Phones everywhere caught the moment. The woman once humiliated now standing tall, victorious. The same silence that shamed her days ago now filled the store again. But this time, it wasn't silence of cruelty. It was silence of awe. What would you have done in Amara's place? Walk away forever, or come back to claim everything? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe to Residential Stories for more powerful stories of dignity and justice.